I'm Flynn Doxson from Nose Witness News, reporting live from Sniper Paintball City. We're here with the manager and he's going to tell us a little about what they have to offer.
Daddy, I got this at Sniper Paintball. We have paintball, cornhole, mini golf, batting cage.
Strike!
That's not a strike.
So come on down every Saturday and Sunday to Sniper Paintball City, located next to Crosstown, where you and the family can have a great time.
See you at Sniper.
So, again, welcome back with us to Let's Talk. Guys, we've been gone for a long time.
Very long time.
I mean, I hope I could get right back in the groove of things, but
I
they say
hope
it's
so.
like riding it's like riding a bicycle, they say you never forget. But welcome to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host.
A lot more than just Cheryl.
A lot more than just Cheryl. Cheryl had some big news. But anyway, we'll talk about
Carry
that
on.
later. So yeah, here at Let's Talk, we like to talk about issues that matter to you so we can come up with workable and practical solutions so we have more action and less talk. This evening, we're going to dive right into it, and we have a very serious topic to discuss with you guys, and we would love for you to join in on this conversation. So give us a call, 352-8255, 352-8255, or drop us a comment in the chat, and we'll read your comment live on air. So we don't just do the show for us, we do the show for you. So we really would love to hear what you have to say. So our conversation tonight is about a public sexual offenders registry here in the Bahamas.
Yes.
Now, this should be a subject that should be concerning to all of us. All of us should be really concerned about this. You know, this shouldn't be something that just passes by, or they say, oh, let them talk about it. I think all of us should be concerned about it. All of us should have a voice. All of us should lobby our political peoples, our MPs, to make sure that we have a public sexual offenders registry.
Yes.
We can go into the details during the show, but it's very, very concerning. Cheryl, what you have to say on this topic?
Yes. Like you said, Jason, it's a very serious topic. And I know a lot of things we talk about here, we have a lot of laughter, but this is something definitely that we ought to take seriously. But I know we're talking about the Sex Offenders Act, but can you maybe share what exists now so people have a good understanding of what exactly we have in place now?
Okay, so right now the Bahamas does have a sex offenders registry, and that's where convicted criminals, those who are convicted of sex crimes, they have to register with the prisoner's office, I think they say it is, with the police. And they every now and then they would register, they have to check in with the police officers. So let me just read what Google is. Bahamas does maintain a sex offender registry, but it's not for public access and it's for police use only. Therefore, you cannot search it for specific individuals. If you have concerns about a local resident's activities, you should contact the local police in the Bahamas for assistance, as they are responsible for managing the registry. And it says that's what's concerning to me.
Yes, because what happens is it exists, but we don't have access to it.
Correct.
And I know people might want to know, why do we need access to it? Why do you need access to it, Jason?
I would like to know where these animals are.
Exactly.
I would like to know because I have young people in my family, friends, young people on the whole. I am concerned with the youth.
Yes.
And for the weaker among us. So it doesn't have to even be younger people. It could be older people, it could be weaker women, it could be men who just fall prey to these animals. And I would like to know where these animals are, whether they're reformed or not. I would like to know so I can protect my family.
Exactly.
So that's why we need a public sexual offenders registry, because we know how things go in this business.
And none of us are exempted from criminal acts. None of us are exempted. And these sexual offenses, to me, it's a crime of a different level, And I think that it's important. And I think once there is a registry, a public registry, it will serve as a deterrent.
Yes.
I think if people knew that, okay, if I do this act and I'm convicted, the entire world will know.
Yes.
So when
Yes.
somebody start dating my daughter, I could go look them up in the public in the registry to make sure
Yes.
that they, you know,
Definitely.
they're not on it. And I think, and you know, I was looking at the stats, and let's say if we have 141 sexual offenders in the Bahamas, we need to know where 141
We need to
human
know
beings
exactly
are
141 they
resided,
are.
so that we can protect ourselves and our families from them.
You know, you may have the naysayers or those who are more sympathetic to people who
They're gonna
make
say,
that type
"Oh,
of mistake.
if you were in that position, you wouldn't want. Wouldn't want." Don't put yourself in that
Exactly.
position. It is a decision that you make.
That's right.
It is a decision you make.
Cheryl, you know what really sparked this? I mean, I was always an advocate for this, right?
Yes,
and
I
and
know.
it dies off and it comes back up, but it just was refreshed in my memory, brought back to my memory. I saw a post on Facebook of this I ain't calling him a gentleman, of this man, this male, who's posing as a deacon in a church, attempted to molest his granddaughter, 11-year-old, twice.
Because it's 2 counts. He was
Yes, 2 counts.
2 counts. He was convicted of.
Right.
So he must have done it more than once.
And want to blame it on alcohol. And then you could have, I know you can get some flack for this, right?
Lock him and the bottle of rum up.
But not that. I drink, I ain't do nothing stupid like that. Hey, listen, the
you
alcohol
are
only go
responsible for what you do if you drink alcohol and drive a car. You are fully responsible of the crime. As a matter of fact, it's going to be worse because you decided to drink and go behind the wheel. So why should the fact that he was drunk have them
anything to do
lessen
with
the
it?
charge?
Exactly.
The fact that a lawyer who went to law school and has all his 5 senses, you're a bunch of idiots.
I
The
agree with
fact
that.
that you went to law school and you're going to use
Argue that.
you're going to argue that.
Yes,
When
yes.
the law clearly says that if you drive or do anything under the influence, you make that decision, then you will
That's
be
a crime.
convicted.
That's a crime, and you will be hit with the law, the full extent of the law. Because if you hit somebody while you're intoxicated, you get in charge with manslaughter. You go into prison for that. They ain't gonna slap you on the wrist and say, oh, the alcohol caused him to cause the accident. Oh, because you drink the alcohol, that makes you even more liable.
Exactly.
Because only what's inside a man or woman can come out when they drink. Alcohol just is a truth teller. Alcohol is a truth teller.
Exactly.
So it just gave him
yes.
the courage to act on those urges he had. And then
Exactly. It lessens, yes.
add insult to injury. And I'm trying to compose myself, guys. Because they say, come back, Jason, just get too passionate, you know, calm down, right? I'm trying to remain composed. To add insult to injury, his wife, he's a good provider. Show him leniency.
Well, I do understand her saying he's a good provider, but
No, she wanted them
but
to-
two things can be true at the same time.
Right.
He
No.
can be a good provider and still
be an
a
animal.
criminal and incestuous criminal who
Yes.
belongs behind bar for the maximum penalty.
But Cheryl,
Because my thing is, yes, if you have a husband who fool with an 11-year-old, you don't want that. You are scorned of that person. You don't want him anywhere near you. So for a woman to even, I mean, yeah, we love our husbands, but when, ma'am, he's no longer your husband, he's a monster.
he's a monster.
When he
a
committed that act or attempted to, thank God, he, you know, and the fact that they said that they're asking to lessen the time because he didn't fully commit, he only attempted. So it's like, okay, let's
Because
celebrate.
he didn't get to murder. He didn't get to murder, so let's let him
Yes.
off. He didn't get to rape, so let's give him lesson. And
He
that's
took
what I
off
want to
her
say.
underwear.
Cheryl, the thing is, she said he's a good provider.
He's a monster.
Show him some leniency, because he's a good provider. That's what his wife asked for.
So she only cares about her bills being paid.
That's it. That's it.
Yes.
She didn't check. She don't care. To hell with her
Yes,
granddaughter.
To hell with the child.
To hell with the trauma she goes
11-year-old
through.
who was traumatized for the rest of her life.
To hell with her. And then the good pastor.
Why are you doing air
petition the
quotes
court.
around the man's title? Why are you putting air quotes
No,
around
because
the man's title?
listen. That's why I know I can get some flack for this, right?
Yeah, we both will. but hey.
The good pastor, his pastor can say, give him some leniency.
Yes. He should shut his mouth. Go pray in your closet.
He no God in that.
understand?
He no God in that. Stay, like you say, stay behind the scenes
Yes.
and counsel your deacon and,
Yes.
and tell him, hey, man up. and whatever penalty show
suffer the
before you, and
consequences.
pay your crimes. Listen, this is sickening. This is sickening.
Very much.
So,
Very much, but this is happening in our country. Jason, this is just one of the incidents. Because there are many other incidents over the years that is just as bad.
Just as egregious.
And the thing is, we only become irate when it is front and center.
Yes.
And next week will be all news and nothing. No one says anything.
And the thing is, Cheryl, to your point, this happened in 2019.
Yes.
He just got convicted this year.
So where was he all this time? 6 years.
He was free to do
whatever.
Again, probably got away with those set. Probably was able to pay off.
And no one knows who he is or where he is.
Guilt the people into not speaking. See, that's why we need to know. We need to have a public sexual offenders registry for those who got convicted, because this guy was convicted. His name to be on that, and we, the public, need to have access to this.
Yes.
And so what if the public berate him or so that's part of the consequence.
Absolutely.
That is part of the consequences. They don't hide murderers' names.
No, they
Everybody
don't.
know, right?
Exactly.
They parade them before the court. So why is this? Now they say for the victim, right?
To protect the
To
victim.
protect the victim. I mean, I kind of understand it, but it can come out anyway.
Of course it will.
So that and guess what? It needs to be public so that there don't be no
but
more
it's public
victims.
in other countries, so I'm sure.
Yes, we
it's
need to know.
It's not that big a deal, and we cover up too much in this very small country of ours.
Sweep it under the rugs. Sure.
And for our population, we have a lot of these crimes that are happening, a lot of sexual offenses, rape, assault. A lot of these are happening, and because these people are closeted or hidden and protected, they're more protected than the victims are.
Oh, most definitely. They almost...
and the more we protect them, then the more we are putting the victims at stake, because a lot of times they become repeat offenders.
Because there's no consequence.
Yes.
They're almost as protected as the alphabet community. I had to slide that inside there, because nobody got more rights.
You found a way to put that in there.
I had to slide that inside there. But according to the stats, right? Last year, we had 61 reported cases of rape, 9 attempted rape, and 141 unlawful intercourse. And what they describe unlawful intercourse as cases involving a minor with or without their consent. Penalties are dependent on the minor's age. So if a minor can't give consent, what they even to put that there for with or without their consent? Because a minor can't give consent. So that shouldn't even be put in there.
And that is just what was reported. You know how many cases go unreported, Jason?
That's right. That's right.
How many cases go unreported?
See, we need to stop playing in this Bahamas, When justice gets denied like this causes people, the crime to go up.
Oh, absolutely.
Vigilantism.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
Because see, one like me, I don't encourage it, but I understand it. Because if I can't get that justice in court, anyway, we can leave that right there. We can leave that right there. But this, we've been letting this go on too long. We need to stop playing and actually prioritize what needs to happen. Hold our government officials accountable.
And protect our innocent people, the persons in our country who cannot defend themselves, our children and our elderly.
Yes.
And that's who are being targeted by this offense, the elderly and the innocent children.
Anyway, we got to take a quick commercial break, and we hope to hear from you guys on another side of this break. Stick around.
Yo, what's up, Bahamas? My name is Andrew Williams, aka Cat.
And I'm your boy Mix.
And we're representing Off the Bench, the #1 talk sportcast in the Bahamas.
In the world, my boy.
My bad partner. So we cover anything sports throughout the Bahamas. We cover our Bahamian athletes wherever they are, and they're making waves in sports. We cover them.
Hey, just tune in. That's every Wednesday here on Superior Talk at 6:00 p.m.
Sharp. The #1 talk show
in the world, Craig.
And we're back. So we talking about a public sexual offenders registry. Here in the Bahamas, we do have a sexual offenders registry, but to me, I don't think they have no bite, because they keep it hush-hush.
And it's not public.
It's not public. It's not accessible to the public. So if a offender, he can go in and still do his due. Once nobody reports him, he can still go ahead and carry on with his deviant behavior. Because if
think-
I, let's say I am an offender, right? And I've been convicted, and I just have to report into the police. I don't think there's no stipulation that I can't leave the island. So I could
No.
go to another island and just
Yes.
report to the police station over here.
Right.
They don't know me. So here I
Yeah.
am. I go be a youth leader. Or, somebody who, or PE teacher, or someone
Yes.
who likes to be around, those who have access to the children, because, children are trusting and all that stuff. So now
Right.
here I come, and I could repeat my offense.
Right.
Now I am more crafty because whatever got me caught last time, I make sure I don't do it this time. And I could either bribe, guilt, threaten whoever my victims are so that I do not be reincarcerated.
Exactly.
And because the
Exactly.
registry is not public, I could continue to
can
carry
do
on
that.
willy-nilly.
Yes.
Nobody looking at me. Cheryl come on the side of me. I start dating Cheryl. Cheryl got a young daughter. Cheryl don't know who I am.
Oh, you'll die. Cheryl will be on a different registry.
And I second that. I second that.
But and you know what's so hurtful, Jason? These are children in their family. These are the children you are supposed to kill to protect, and you're harming these children. Now and then what happens also is these children they develop distrust for everyone.
Yes.
You understand? And this sometimes never leave them. And children are usually, they don't get the proper counseling that they need or rehab,
Not here in the
that
Bahamas.
they need exactly for these things. And so you're looking at someone, an adult who has been affected by this, traumatized by this, and may very well be affected for the rest of their lives. And we're talking about loved ones committing these crimes. Loved ones, people who are supposed to love and protect
So Cheryl,
these vulnerable children.
check this out, right? It happened to the child. The man, women do it too, but in most of the cases, men
In
are the
rare
offenders.
cases,
men,
yes.
men are the offenders, right? This woman, whether it's the daddy, biological step, boyfriend, or whatever like that, he molests or attempts to mess with the child, boy or girl. The child now come to you for help, and you don't believe the child, or you take the man's side. So the child get a double whammy. The man didn't protect, or daddy, whoever the man is, didn't
Exactly.
protect. Mommy didn't believe them.
And this happens.
Where
so
does that
often.
leave them in their
Exactly.
mindset?
Remember the case a few years, or maybe it must have been last year, where the mother took the child to have an abortion because the child was molested and got pregnant, and so the mother took the child to have an abortion.
remember that.
Right?
Listen.
So I mean, this is crazy. And that's why I tell kids, the kids I work with, I beg them all the time. I say, don't ever lie to your parents.
No.
I said, because your parents are supposed to believe everything you say.
Yes.
You believe, I'd rather you err on believing the child's lying
Yes.
than err on not believing the child when the child is telling the truth.
And it's important to teach your child to be honest too, because when it comes to serious
Absolutely.
things like
yes,
this,
like that,
you
yes.
want to believe them.
Right.
Because this is a matter, there's two different lives
Yes.
and they're hanging in the balance now.
Right.
The child life or
Right.
the person's life, if that child is a habitual liar,
Right.
that man life could be messed up. Because we do have some few
We've had
cases
cases
where,
like that, yes.
where the man was wrongfully accused
Right.
and there's no coming back from that.
Right.
So that's why I said once they're convicted,
Right, and
Once they're
exactly
convicted.
because you really have to prove.
Right.
You have to prove that they are, but the sad thing is, Jason, in too many cases, women are disbelieving their children for different reasons.
and we don't
Not
need to
because
go
the
into those
child is
reasons,
lying, but
right?
for different reasons.
We know some of the reasons,
And
and
that
this
is-
is, the
that
show
in
isn't
itself
about
is
this.
sickening,
The show
yes. Mm-hmm.
isn't about that, but we know what we on another show we'll address those issues. But that's sickening, like you said, because the perpetrator has a problem,
Right.
right? He's evil. He's a rabbit. He's a rabid dog.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the woman who's covering up for this rabid
Right.
dog?
Case
That's
in
even
point,
worse.
this wife in this same scenario.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So a caller, one of the texts was asking, what did they miss? Say who, what pastor, or who got charged? I'm lost. Update me.
Go watch the
can
news.
we'll see if we can get that
It
clip
was
to
in the
play
news
on the
yesterday.
next side of the break. But it was on the news.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but and this isn't a one-off.
No, it's
This is
not.
just recent.
No, it's not. Exactly. Exactly, because I can read, well, you know, in the last couple of years, there was a case involved a man convicted of an incest in November 2023 for an offense that occurred in January 2023 against his niece. There's also another case detailed the conviction of a man for 20 counts of incest.
20?
20 counts. And 1 count of indecent assault against his granddaughter. And that happened over a period of 5 years.
My
Okay?
God.
So we have many cases like this that's happening in our country.
My God, Cheryl, over 5 years, so the trauma, the pain, the
20
suffering that
cases,
child
yes.
endured.
Exactly. Over
At the
5 years.
hands of-
Now, who's around the child? Who's not? And a lot of times kids don't talk. You have to be noticing your
Yes.
child, the differences in their parents, the differences in their countenance. A lot of times when kids they become unnecessarily rude and
Yes.
abrasive, it's a defense mechanism. Someone is hurting them,
Right.
and they don't know how to lash out or how to express it, and so they become that way. And so we have to be very careful when we observe children. A lot of times as teachers, we are exposed to it, and so we can dig deeper. But parents, they are the first responders.
response,
First
yes.
response. You have to know your children and be there to protect them at every cost.
Every course. And see, Cheryl, we say this time and time again, involved parenting. That's something you and I both agree on.
Yes.
One of the few things we agree on.
Very few.
That parents really need to be involved, especially in this day and time. We
Yes.
can't be allowing these devices and TV and friends or whatever to raise our children because that's how they become victims.
Exactly.
Because-
But Jason, a lot of us, and it is our culture though, grandparents.
Yes.
We go by our grandparents.
Yeah.
Grandparents love us more than our parents.
Yeah,
in your love, they spoil us.
right? Yes.
They spoil us. So you would expect a grandparent would be the last person.
Man, listen,
Uncles
this-
and
this
aunts
is-
who spoil
Yeah.
children more than, you know.
Right.
And I think maybe sometimes that's where, you know, it's because that trust is already there. And that's why these people need to be punished worse because that trust, they didn't have
Yes.
to earn that.
Yes, that's just
They
giving
didn't
them
have
freely.
to earn, exactly.
Child just going to them just innocence.
And they
love. They love
didn't
the
just
child. They take
abuse
it-
the child's body, they abused the
them-
child's trust.
Yes.
They abused the child's future relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. They try to
So-
kill that child's future. That's the devil. That's the devil because that's what the devil come to do, right? Destroy.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to destroy the future because the children are our futures.
Yes.
And they're just willing participants of their evil and vile desires.
Exactly.
They need to be.
How do you say give him a chance?
No.
How do you say
Let
give
that
him a
prison work that out.
chance?
Send him in jail prison. Let him pay his
If they're
time there. Let
gone
them work
and
that out
broken
there.
in somebody's house and stolen some TV and some stuff, give them a chance.
Yeah, give 'em a
those
chance.
things are replaceable.
Right.
But this is not
You steal
replaceable.
a child's future. You're trying to steal a child. I mean, God could repair all, right?
Yes,
But why
but-
put that child through
No.
that? Why
No.
put that child through that? The pain and the suffering and the mental anguish. Children then have a hard time navigating through life. But to go through that, you know, how to warp their reality?
But what do you say to the person who say, Jason, you're supposed to be a man of God, forgive? What do you say to that person? Excuse me, hyper Jason. Producer, I'm gonna need some you see that look Jason gave me just now? I may need some security.
Sharon, listen to me.
I'm gonna need you to calm down.
I on the side of when Jesus, I use Jesus' side. When he pick up that whip and he start whipping them money changes and turning it over the table, that's what I'm referring to right there. What they call it, the, anyway, I forget what the indignant, anyway, the anger, righteous anger, that's me.
This is the Peter who took the
Yes,
sword
to
and
take the sword and cut off the man ear. No, there's time to pick up arms. There's time for punishment. You know, you forgive them, God can sort that out.
Yes.
God can sort that
God will
out.
forgive him and we'll
God
forgive
will
him too, but we
yeah.
will not forgive. Let them suffer the consequences.
Of course.
Because
Of
even
course.
we have to suffer the consequences of our
course.
sin, even
Yes.
though we're under grace and
God
we
say you're gonna pay
receive
for it.
forgiveness.
Some he forgives us from, but some listen, work it out. He say I'll welcome you into heaven, but you can pay for that.
Of course.
You can pay, and the part of the payment needs to be something stiff and harsh to deter these
So every time
animals.
he looks at another bottle of alcohol,
Man,
I
Sharon,
know
that's
that
the
what
problem.
he did as a result, let's
Sure.
just blame the alcohol. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
that punishment should be as such that if he ever looks at another, you
He
understand?
start shivering, he
will
start twitching.
He will not even want to drive on the same street as a liquor store.
I'm telling you, but Cheryl, I don't even think alcohol was there. I think they
I don't
add that in
think
there to
so.
try to get him off.
Exactly.
Whatever avenue they could get them.
Exactly.
to try to get
And
a
shame
harsh,
on
a
you,
less harsh.
Pastor, and shame on you,
Pastor,
wife.
the lawyer. Well, you know the
Shame on
lawyer
you.
only for money. So the lawyer is a part of
Yes,
this world
scum.
system, so I ain't worried about it. But his wife,
Mm-hmm.
who is the grandmother, the
Wait,
pastor,
grandmother? Oh my gosh.
the pastor who is supposed to be God's voice on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no, bro. You go and counsel your deacon and say, listen,
Mm-hmm.
you mess up. We can work with you, but bro, whatever they throw at you, you can take this and you can grin and you can bear it. Come on.
After he come out of jail, he might be deacon the next day again in that church.
Come on, like, yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Cheryl, I mean,
Yeah.
God's still working on me and my forgiveness and turning the other cheek and all that stuff. And I working with it. I ain't there yet. But boy, I know if I can ever be there. God, I know if I can ever be there. I can be honest.
No.
When it comes to this type of thing, these children, innocent, man, even women, listen, for a man, so much woman out there, and so much slack woman out there, for you to go there and say you got to go and rape and take
Oh
for a
boy.
woman, I don't understand this. I don't understand it, Sharon.
Yes.
And then you had the case of the
The
fellow dude, that 70-year-old.
The 71-year-old woman
How
who was
sick
raped.
could you
yes.
be?
Exactly.
You know,
And like you said, there are a lot of available. I prefer the word available as opposed to slack, Jason. There are a lot of
My
available
bad.
women
My
out
bad.
there. A
My
lot of
bad.
women who have lowered their standards.
yes, some ain't got none.
Very low. Some standards are below hell. So men, if when you think about raping, please just and you you don't have to even put out any effort.
No,
None.
they're so easy, they're so accommodating.
Let's
That's
just
the best
focus
word.
on the
They're
men.
so best, so accommodating.
So-
The ladies are so accommodating. You don't have to, but I think that's the sickness of it. It isn't that they want women, they
Yeah,
want
it's something deeper. They want the power and the control.
Yes,
knowing
that they want to
can take
inflict
something.
pain and the violence, the sickness of it.
Yes.
And you know, I'm all about rehabilitation. I'm all about trying to help people, right? Who want help.
Yeah.
Some of them know they have these proclivities, these sicknesses,
Right.
and they wouldn't act on it. They'll go and get help, and they'll stay away.
Right.
But then there's some who actually feed into this, and they get off and they see and they plot and connive and see how they could get to work it out. Those ones, they need to get put down. They need to get put down. Whether it's in prison, okay, they need to get out of society. Let me put it like
Yeah.
that. However, the law seems to get them out of society, whether that's prison, unalive, by legal means. And this, of course, is through
Well, that
once
is
they've
not-
been convicted.
Exactly.
I'm
And-
not
and-
talking about vigilante just picking them up and taking somebody on their word.
No.
Once they've gone through the court systems
And have been
and had their
convicted,
day in
yes.
court and they've been convicted, this is what we're talking about. These are the guys who I'm talking about.
Yes. And I think too, we talk about the worst of the worst. And I think those kind of crimes, that's the worst of the worst.
Yes, man.
When you're going to rape children and elderly,
Yes,
that's
man.
the worst of the worst.
Rape.
What else can you do? Because to me, that's equal to death.
Yeah. Man, and death, at least once the person dead, they're gone. They don't have to live with that trauma of being violated like that.
Exactly. And if we're going back to this deacon who would have been convicted of 2 counts. Now, the fact that he was convicted of 2 counts can mean that you can only prove 2 counts.
That's what I was
Okay?
going at.
So we don't know if he actually only tried 2 times. It only means that you can prove 2
Prove 2
counts.
times.
And hadn't he been caught?
I don't even want to think about it.
Let's just look at this wife and pastor who's pleading on his behalf. Had he not been caught, do you think that he would have continued? Because it wasn't just once.
That's right.
If he's so remorseful and it was a mistake,
Why did he
how
try
are
to
you
go again?
committing a mistake
Twice,
more
twice.
than once?
And then the judge said it was a half remorse.
Half-hearted, yes.
Half-hearted remorse.
Yes.
So the judge saw that this was half-hearted.
So I hope that the judge in his right mind will make the
But the
right
judge, it
decision.
sounded like it gone before a jury.
Okay,
because they
yes,
said,
because it is what must have been tried in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what makes me think is he may have gotten away with this before.
But before, yes.
Outside,
exactly.
so he's now getting, because
Exactly.
the more you do something, the more bold you get with it. But sin, you get it, first time you'll be like,
And Mrs. Deacon, Mrs. convicted sexual offense Deacon. While you're thinking about how good of a provider your husband is, why aren't we thinking of what kind of a husband I have that would want to have sex with an 11-year-old?
Not just an 11-year-old, my 11-year-old. My 11-year-old child.
Relative. Why
My
would I even?
grandchild.
And okay,
And he get turned on from
when
that.
he comes out of jail, where is he going? Because I would be in there saying, listen, boss, I'm gonna need you. You're gonna have to look out, you have a couple of years to figure out where you're gonna live.
No, one of the
Because
consolations.
where you gonna go?
One of the consolations I get that he's 61. So hopefully he gets no less than 10 years. So when he come out, he's an old, decrepit piece of crap. Somebody push him down.
Already a piece of crap.
Anyway.
Yes.
Hey, like I said, I'm trying to keep myself composed, but this topic right here, guys, this is really run me hot. Yo, it's get my gears going.
Yes.
But we got to take a commercial break, and on the other side of this break, we hope to hear from you.
You asked and I delivered. Island-ish is back. The podcast you guys have known to love, to like to call in, to like to interact with. We are officially back. For the ones that don't know me, this is your girl Yams. Hear me on Mix 102.1 FM or your favorite TGF_Yams. With the 2 S's, we're back with Island-ish right here on Superior Talk. So make sure you're following the page. We're going live this Thursday, 6 p.m. Don't miss it. Follow us. It's about to get lit.
From the courts, a church deacon convicted of attempting to rape his own granddaughter is blaming alcohol for his actions. 64-year-old Church of God minister, whose name is being withheld to protect the victim, was found guilty on 2 counts of attempted incest involving his then 11-year-old granddaughter. The incident reportedly occurred between August and September of 2019. Now, according to a probation report that was read in court, the man told officers he must have been drunk when he removed the child's underwear and attempted to rape her. His wife, describing him as a good provider, also pleading to the court for leniency, echoing the sentiments of the pastor, who also called for mercy. However, prosecutor Terry Archer argued that drunkenness was no excuse for the crime, saying the convict showed half-hearted remorse. Archer argued and urged the court to impose a sentence between 20 to 30 years, citing the growing number of sexual abuse cases involving children. Defense attorney Licia Rowe, meanwhile, requested a sentence of just 4.5 years. Now, the man remains in custody and is awaiting sentencing before Justice Renee McKay. A story.
4.5 years.
4.5 years.
So that child was 11 years old in 2019, so they should be 16 now, 17 now. 4.5 years, she's 22. She got to come out and look. And look and see that man to say, hey, that's
Walking
my grandpa,
free.
that's my granddaddy right there who tried to rape me. Boy. Listen,
And listen, not that he was drunk. He must have been drunk.
See, that's why I say, you know, alcoholism. He looking for some excuse.
Must have been drunk.
Must have been drunk. Looking for any way to try to lessen his time.
Yes.
Oh, it was alcohol. My wife wasn't giving me none. Oh, what else they could? Come on.
You're a 64-year-old man. When you look at an 11-year-old, what do you see? Your own flesh and blood. And I don't know, even people without children, I'm sure you must be able to relate, because when I see my own flesh and blood, I want to kill for them.
Exactly. How could you get turned on for that?
How could you?
And then his wife can try to plead for him. I don't know.
The fact that, the fact that there's a pastor who's saying whatever, nobody should show up to that church.
No.
No one should show up to that church.
For mercy. Pleading for mercy. Boy, I had to sit to the back.
To be lenient.
That's my deacon. That means I speak for this man. I said, bro, you let me down. You making me look bad. I can't show up for you. I can't be in your corner. I can pray for you.
Yes.
I pray for your deliverance. I pray that, God have mercy on you. That's it. No, but, bro, I ain't speaking on your behalf. I can't. That means I can look like I have some of your same tendencies too. And then the judge said something. The judge said, crimes against children are on the rise.
It is. It's
on the rise.
It is. And the fact that there are so many that are reported and so many still yet, Jason, unreported, that that makes it so much worse, because there are, and I believe for every one that's reported, there's one that's
10.
not reported.
One, I say with 10.
Yes.
Because when you then start factoring the threatening, the child or guilting them or because the man is financially taking care of the home, oh, you got to let him slide. Because I know in my day, I've heard about it where the mother turn eye because the guy,
Yes.
you know, and all they say is because the guy was taking care, he was paying the rent.
Right.
And they say, oh, my daughter is she too fast. Miss, I don't care how fast she is, she's a child.
Yes. And a lot of movies are built on that too, on the fact that, you know, a lot of movies, especially from our culture, is built on the fact incestuous
Yes.
situations, a number
Cases where
of
fathers sleep with
climbed in their
sleep with
daughter's
their
beds.
daughters. I can't fathom that.
Yes.
Cheryl. I can't.
But it is the reality that we live in, and you know, I suspect it's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse.
You know, I always state this a lot. I mean, state it a lot. Demons walking among us.
Yes.
Just like plain clothes. They're in plain clothes. They walk in. They've manifested themselves. People have given themselves over to demonic possession. They don't care no more.
No, they don't. And they see that our our justice system, everything, it's more or less playing in their favor.
Yes.
You know, the homes are playing in their favor. A lot of us, our children are unattended. Our children are left.
Yes.
You know, they're raising themselves. We are in the home, but we're not present.
Yes.
You know, and so they have everything that they need.
The ground is right. It's a playground. It's a playground. You got the fathers, them who are not stepping up to be there to protect their children.
Yes.
You know, the daddies, that's because it starts there.
Yes.
With men not being there to protect their children.
Yes.
Then the mothers making poor choices on these men who they being with. Let's say it didn't work out with the father. So now they go and make another poor choice and go with this other scum who can now mess with their children. And then, like you said, the law, our legal system, it's just overwhelmed. They can't get it in time, or they're sweeping it under the rug. And then you have friends who just covering up for them. You got this pass to them who don't want. I mean, it's just the children.
And you have the right of money, you can get the right lawyer.
That's it. And you know the lawyers, they only want to get paid. That's all.
Exactly.
You know, so
And then you have, right.
Who's lobbying? Who's there protecting our children? Who's there?
No one. And this is just a playing ground for the devil.
Yes.
You know, we have the saying, when the cat's away, the mice will play. Well, the devil is at play.
He playing.
Because like you say, the protection from the home is missing.
Evil persists when good men do nothing.
Yes, and so we definitely, back to our topic, we definitely need
a public sexual offenders registry. We have a sexual offenders registry, but it's to get on that, they said to get on
you have
that,
to contact the police station. And I wonder if you were to contact the police station, if you're able to get information, what information
that's it.
do you get?
I really should have tried that,
Yes, maybe that's something that we need to do and come back and report on it next week. That if who are you calling for? If you call to say, okay, I need to have a list of the names of the convicted sexual offenders in Grand Bahama.
From reading this, that list isn't available to the public.
Yes, so what am I calling them for?
They say if you have suspicion of the activity of an individual, it says you cannot search it for specific individuals. If you have concerns about a local resident's activity, you should contact the police. So
that
only if you're guessing. So you
that is ridiculous. That is so ridiculous.
So wow. No.
What?
Sorry for that, guys.
The producer.
Yeah, show us right off.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to get on the sexual registry now, the one that exists, they say you have to commit certain crimes. Rape, which is defined as sexual intercourse with another person who is not a spouse without their consent.
That's not a registry. That's the police information. Only the police has that.
No, they're saying how to get on the registry, right?
So we can actually have access to that.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay. For them, the criminals to be okay.
Said unlawful sexual intercourse, cases involving a minor. Incest, that's how you get on this current sexual registry. Sexual harassment, you can get on that, and that sexual harassment is criminalized under the Sexual Offenses and Domestic Violence Act. This offense can lead to imprisonment and/or fines.
But only people who are convicted are
convicted,
on that.
right? And then child pornography. So all who out there like to be sending around these videos of these underage kids exposing themselves or engaging in adult activity, Y'all get catch with that on your phone. Y'all right, watch yourself. And then sexual assault of a spouse. All of these, if you commit those and you're convicted, you'll be added to. You should be added to the sexual offenders registry. And I wonder if it's once they're convicted, if they're automatically added. I wonder if the lawyer has to push for them to be added to that.
No,
That's another
I think.
question.
But to me, I don't. No, in our country, that's not any real registry. That's just a list of their convicted criminals. That's all that is. And they probably don't even have access. It's probably written in a book somewhere.
That's right. With pen.
Because it's probably not in.
They can lick it right out.
It's probably not computerized.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My God, man. That's how much faith we got inside our law. But see, the thing is, the registries then seems weak. It don't seem like it have no teeth.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So we have to
rally for this.
Rally for this, man. We have to do this because we need to know.
And this is the time for us to get anything done. They want our vote. We have to make them earn it.
That is right. Silly season is about to begin. So add this to your list. Put this to the top of your list of things that they need to address.
Absolutely.
Get them to commit to it, man. Because this been going on. I remember when we was walking the streets, lobbying for this. That had been some 10 years ago.
That's
15
true.
years ago.
And nothing has happened since.
And they may have just got the sexual registry, but we were lobbying for a public sexual registry. Because that's when this was around when those boys go missing.
No,
but the thing is,
some years ago. I think it wasn't it Archer? Wasn't it shortly after?
Yes.
Marco?
Yes, it may have been around then.
Right. And that's about 12 years ago.
Yeah, man, listen, we joking, you know.
But I think something good came out of that because we have the alert.
Marco alert, yes.
The Marco alert came out of that. But a lot more has to be done.
Yes, we shouldn't stop there.
Needs to be done.
We shouldn't stop there. We need to get some teeth, put some teeth behind that.
We have the power in our hands. The power is in the hands of the voters. And if we don't do something, nothing will happen unless our voices are heard.
And we
have to make our voices heard.
You know, Cheryl, they hear us, you know. But they say, let me see how serious they are. Let's see if it's going to pass.
It's going to pass, yes.
So if we continue to agitate, put pressure on them, and continue to talk about it, they'll do something. They'll have to do something because they like to be in office.
Yes.
So just some stats. They said the reported sex crime has increased by 3% in 2024, with 211 incidents compared to 204 in 2023. The number of reported unlawful sexual intercourse cases rose by 5%. In the first 3 months of 2025, 151 rape cases involving women were reported. Wow. 3 months.
Wow.
And then the U.S. State Department noticed that in 2018, reports that Abaco had the highest number of... Wow. The U.S. State Department noted in 2018 reports that Abaco had the highest number of sexual violent cases. What's going on in Abaco?
Interesting.
We have some
Carl
comments.
Williams Davis says, I believe in castration.
Yes.
And crimes require certain punishment.
I agree.
Also, anyone who uses alcohol as an excuse and refuses to stop drinking needs to be put on medication. That the moment they take a drink, they get sick. Yes, there are medications that works this way.
Yep.
Okay, she's a nurse. I think she has a little more knowledge about. Stephanie says, they say a drunk mind speaks the truth.
Yes.
He was lusting at that child all the while.
Yes.
If they give him a lenient sentence, it gives others a motive to do it.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
Yes. Jay John says the system is broken and needs to be revamped! Exclamation point times 3. What is the sense of the registry if no one has access? Case in point.
Exactly.
What's the point?
Exactly. And that's why I said it's not a registry. It's the police list of convicted criminals.
Yeah.
They're half-hearted, half-beep list of convicted criminals. Probably, like you say, written in pen, thrown down on a desk somewhere.
Can't even find that list right now. Where that list says again?
I'm telling you, man. Anyway, we love the police. Thank you for your service.
Yes. But incident came to mind. Remember when that guy raped that little girl and left her in the abandoned car to die? And they had to remove that little girl's wombs? That guy is out of jail now. I remember a couple years ago he got out.
Are you
Because it wasn't a long time he got. And we don't know who he is. We don't know where he is.
We still don't know.
We don't know where he is.
The child is dead, so what are they protecting?
She didn't die. She didn't die.
Not that case. Okay,
No, she
so
didn't
I guess
die.
they're protecting the victim again. But what's the point?
But you have to know who he
you
is
are
and where he
protecting
is.
the criminal as well.
Yes. Shell, this is
know?
crazy.
It is beyond crazy. It's beyond crazy. And I don't understand. Like you say, Jason, there's something that we have to see it. And sadly though, a lot of times, even in our culture, and I can't speak for other cultures because this is the one within I exist, but only when it happens to us.
Yes.
You know, we wait. We become angered.
Yes.
We become hurt.
Now we want
when
march.
it hits home. Exactly.
Yeah, now we want march. Now we want rally
But if
everybody
it's
behind
happening
us.
to my neighbor, it's near enough.
Yeah.
Why do I have to wait for
Sit
it to
down
hit
and
my
gossip.
front door, my doorstep?
Yeah, we'll sit
for
and
me
gossip.
to
Child,
become
you hear what happened?
exactly.
Boy, I see you sick
Exactly.
long time. Mind you, I see he was like that. You know, why are you reporting?
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
listen.
And a number of these cases, we have people who say they suspect something.
Yes. So you should lock them up because
Exactly.
you aid and abet a criminal. Listen, I
Yes.
Cheryl, something needs to be done, you know? And God is
Definitely.
good, and I thank God He has never allowed anybody in my near vicinity to go through this because
You'd be in jail, Jason. I don't want
I'm
to see
telling you,
I know. We know.
we know.
We don't want you to go to jail.
We
So.
take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back after these messages.
Where you going, mate?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is.
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is.
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is.
Or you could go to the box office downtown at the Genesis Street Gear.
You ain't scared of Joneses, eh?
So, you know, everybody can see my passion. I'm sure you guys out there watching, y'all can feel how passionate we are, especially for me, how I'm on this subject right here. And it just sickens me to see how innocent children, because we're speaking more on children, but women are victims to this as well.
Yes.
But I don't want to make the adults feel that I don't have rage against them. I mean, for them as
Yes,
well.
of course.
I do have rage for
Of course.
sexual crimes.
Yes.
People who are victims of sexual crime, be it a male, female, adult. But I'm just more passionate against the elderly and the children because they're more defenseless. So
Yes.
And
in a lot of cases with the children is because it's somebody they know and trust.
Right.
In a lot of those cases. So I think that's why we're more irate.
Right.
Because the child's defenses were down.
Yes.
You know, and a grown-up took advantage of that.
And who do they turn to now? Because they don't feel like this. The
Exactly.
people who they're trusting is doing this to them.
Exactly.
Who do I turn to?
Exactly.
So you being in the school system, I'm quite sure if you have 30 children in the class, we will get right back to this. So, welcome to Let's Talk Caller. We're talking about a public sexual offenders registry, and I'm sure you can feel the passion. What you got to say on this topic?
I can feel your passion, and you know, you've been passionate about it. And it's fucking anybody with kids. So
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
As a legitimate parent, you have to have passion in this because, you know, we have to protect our kids, our families at all costs.
Yes.
I didn't even know about this, and then I watched it, and that's crazy. But I can be honest, I can tell you the truth. I'm not surprised of the pastor saying, you know, they be lenient on about the wife, because the world we grew up in, especially in the church society, let's be honest and be real. Church protect their own, and the church does the bare minimum. A lot of churches, and I ain't pointing at one church. A lot of churches do the bare minimum. Let me say that. A pastor will be so comfortable to do that because he knows how the system of a church works. He knows it's not going to be a backlash. You understand what I'm saying? He knows that the church today, you know, at large, they focus on other areas, what's more important, finances, you know what I mean, and the show and the glamour. Whereas when it comes to doing actual things to protect, see, to me, like, any church in the reality that we live in, and the way we read the Bible and so on, every church should be speaking up against that and holding that pastor and the church accountable.
Agreed.
Not
Definitely.
being quiet, not saying, oh, let the next person deal with that, because that's your job. You understand what I'm saying? Not to just sit back, just like how y'all doing this show, and I applaud y'all for that, because y'all holding them accountable right now, not letting that. Like I say, I didn't even know about it. So the police could be the police, the law could be the law, the system could be the system, but the church should be the church.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Stand up. The
Yes.
church should speak up.
Yes.
And I be honest with you, it's been so much incidents. I know somebody personally, and I don't know a few people. There's a church on Grandmama, I would never step for them because one of the deacons there attempted to rape her multiple times.
Multiple.
And when she spoke up, they told her, oh, she was being crazy. And listen, they put her in the spell. She's an adult now. My friend is in her 30s. And today, she still is traumatized by that.
I can imagine. She would be.
You understand? Yeah, so and I get tired of living in a society where we protect the church image over protecting the people and loving the people. And that's what's crazy. That's why I can tell you I'm not surprised of that action. Because if we really sit down and take the blinders off our eyes, we would see that's how the church is large is. That's expected. And it's sad that we live in a world today where we only want to glorify that, hey, look how much money we raise. We doing the bare minimum and not actually helping and being loving to people and holding our brothers and sisters accountable for the wrongdoing. You know? So that's my little couple of cents on it. I enjoy the show. I still the work, so I really are watching it.
Okay, appreciate your call, Vito.
All right,
Appreciate your call. Thanks, man.
Wow.
So, but just to add to that, we are the church.
Yeah.
The church isn't in a building.
Yeah.
The church isn't just a pastor.
Yeah.
So the congregation, and like you said, that church should be empty.
Of course.
Whatever church that was should be empty.
No one should want to follow that
Right.
that pastor. No one.
So we
wanna
are the
follow
church.
him.
Vito is the church. I am the church. You are the church. All of us who profess to know Christ and follow Him, we are the church. So the church isn't no one individual, no one institution. We are the body. So and anybody
But he
who's
does have a point, though, is that we try to protect our own, and I think in that sense, it's just that they are seeing the wrong victim.
Right.
That pastor and that wife, they're treating that man like he's the victim.
yeah, no,
There's only one victim in that
yes.
scenario. One victim, and there's a child.
yes,
And
yes.
so that man, he's not the victim.
No,
So
not
asking
not
for
even
leniency,
close.
exactly, asking for leniency. And he's not a part of the church I'm a part of, Jason.
No. My church, listen, they are. I hope the view isn't that this is what churches do, because I know
Right.
many churches that are
would
being the
not.
church.
Right.
I know many churches that are
Right.
being the church. I know there's many institutions, many people out there who eat, who have a place to eat. I mean, to sleep, eat, because of the church, right? But there
I
are a lot of
understand that,
places.
but I wonder though, Jason, how many pastors would turn their back on that deacon? Which is what you should do.
You have to.
You should
Listen,
step away from him because he's not yours. So I mean, but I don't know. I tend to want to agree with Vito. I don't know that a lot of persons would feel the same way we're feeling, like people who have close relationships. I don't know that they would feel
and that's
so
why
antagonistic towards him.
we have to change that culture.
Exactly.
We have to change it. We have to speak up.
If that's my child, I'm turning you in and I'm turning my back on
Listen,
you.
and I stand, it ain't even got to be my child. Once I know, I stand with a person who
what I'm
was
saying,
a victim. So I
exactly.
agree with you.
So and I used to tell my kids, my son, he would always say, oh, mommy, if I do something, I'll call the police for you, buddy.
Quick.
I can be right there to
I
bring
can
you
cry
food
with
and
you,
whatever,
rub your back and but you can pay.
You will pay.
You can pay.
You
Come on,
understand
I
me? And
raised you to do this
that's
foolishness.
Exactly.
You go against what I say, that means you got to pay for
I
it.
don't love you any less.
No, but you got to
But
pay.
right, exactly.
And you heard there was rumors always that the Catholic Church of how they mess with the little boys,
Yes.
and rather than there being any justice, they just move the priest
From one
thing to the next.
Yes.
So this is almost systemic, and
Exactly,
it's
yes.
sad.
And
right?
and sadly, even when we had in the news, even in the education system, when we had persons who were accused, we don't know what happened in those cases.
Just move them, right?
They're no longer in the system, but we don't know if there were any criminal charges. We don't know what happened. People are just off the scene, and then the public stops talking about it, and no
so just sweep
attention is
under.
given to it.
Right.
Like you say, it's swept, it's forgotten because once something is not current, it's not
On you. So they
important.
say,
It's gone with us.
Give them
And
7 days.
we need to stop that because nothing gets done that way.
No.
And our politicians and people who are
They
in
know that.
position who don't really care about that, they use that against
Yes.
us because they know that is
But they
the way
say,
we
if
operate.
you could endure it for 13 days, I think, they say, don't worry about it. It'll be something else can come up.
Wow.
That's what
It
that's
doesn't
the
even
truth.
last that long, especially in this time of social media where
Yeah.
our attention span is so short,
like that.
so short, and they know that.
Yes. So they say wait it out.
Just wait it out.
You can be all right. Just
Exactly.
wait out. Stay out of the public
Trust
eye.
me, just-
stay out
yes.
of the side, and you can be good. And that's what
Exactly.
they count on. But the thing of covering up, it's not just unique to the church.
No.
It's in all institutions, large institutions like you mentioned
Yes.
just now.
Yes.
But it's just that you don't expect that from the church. Like the parents,
Mm-hmm.
a child expects the children to the child expects the parents to protect them. You expecting the church
Mm-hmm. Right.
to be the church what God called them to be. So you don't expect it from the church. So that's why it hits double.
Right.
It hits doubly hard when it
what
comes
do
from
you
the
say
church.
to the person who says, "Oh, but he's only human, Jason"?
No,
yeah,
no,
he's
no,
the
no, no,
deacon.
no.
We're all
The
sinners
Bible
saved by
says,
grace.
heavy is the head who wears the crown. All right,
Absolutely.
and he shall be whipped with
Absolutely.
many more stripes because he
Absolutely.
has a higher calling.
Absolutely.
He's supposed to know better. There's
Yes.
some things he should not be doing.
Exactly.
You know, so that will not fall under the human. That's an animal thing
He
to
is
do.
a monster.
That's a monster thing.
Yes.
No, sir. No, sir.
And
So,
monsters should be caged
that's
for a
right.
very long time.
Caged or put down. I stay with that put down. Don't allow them to get to do it to reoffend.
Absolutely.
You know, look for that.
Yes.
Look for signs of rehabilitation.
Yes.
But if you can't find that, man, put that person out of our misery. Why you gotta be
Absolutely.
paying for him?
Absolutely. I
Feeding them
think-
and housing them and
yes.
clothing them. Why?
And we need judges on the bench who are going to make sure that these sentences are deterrents.
Yes.
Deterrents to other people.
Enough teeth.
Of course, exactly.
So, but before we wrap up, I wanted to mention quick. So, we were talking about the kids. Excuse me. That if they, the parents betray their trust, where do they go now? How do they now cope? Because I'm sure you being in the educational system, you've been around children, I'm sure you see it.
Yes. Yes, we do. And that's why it's so important, even as a teacher. I mean, we have so much on our hands to do. We're not just teachers. We are caretakers.
Yes.
You know, sometimes we have to play the role of counselor, of mommy, of nurse, of everything. And I think it's so important. That's why a lot of times my colleagues, we develop relationships with these children, and they learn to trust us. And a lot of times they will share very, very important things, and we have to learn to listen to them. And so it becomes, there are situations where we have to, share with the guidance counselor so that they can receive counseling. There are other instances, social services have to be called in and things like that. But there are many instances when reports have been made to teachers, and it has to be followed up because children look for people to trust.
Yes.
And it just so happens that we are sometimes the ones that they find that trust in.
Given your experience and being exposed to that, how urgent do they see or when y'all make those reports? Like if a child comes to you and says, this has been going on at home, and they report that to you and you now report it to the guidance counselor,
Right away.
Right away, the police?
Immediately.
the
Same
police-
day. Same day.
Good. Very quick
Same day.
response, and they take it seriously.
Yes, they do. They do. I must say, it's taken very seriously.
That's good. But then from there, you don't know where it goes from there.
No, it's out of my hands, and usually it's none of my business. They
Right,
don't have to.
But the child is still in your care, right? So does the child get the help that they need?
Based on what I've seen, yes, children do get the help that they need.
Okay, that's good.
Yes,
That's a good info.
once things are reported, I must say our social services system is very good at
Very
dealing
good.
with the issues dealing with children and taking it where it needs to go and doing their follow-up. So it's usually addressed, and the kids do get the help they need. But what I see is the child. I don't know what goes on in the head of the child. I don't know how the child is permanently affected.
Right.
But usually the child is usually displaced if they're in a situation where they were hurt. they're usually removed from that situation, placed elsewhere. But usually the emotional aspect is something that that happens over time.
Okay.
And I can't account for that, more or less.
Okay, good. Understood, fair enough. So guys, this has been Let's Talk, a serious topic, and I hope you guys feel how serious it is and actually borrow some of our passion and actually let's see how we could make this thing happen. So, I'll wrap up.
Yes, in my wrap up, I want to say that definitely based on, and it's in the news now, and I don't want us to forget it.
No.
We can't forget it because we have children, and it's important. Even if we're not affected, a child is affected.
Yes.
And so we have to be our neighbor's keeper. We have to see it as important. And I think we need to rally for it. As a community, we need to rally for a public sex offenders registry. And Jason, even on the show, I don't want this to be a one and done.
No.
I think there's something else we need to do. We have to keep at it and make sure that it gets in the ear of the persons who can do something about it.
Most definitely. I guess we can do a follow-up. I mean, probably not next week, probably a week after or whatever, just to keep it fresh, just
Absolutely.
keep it in the minds of those who are watching.
Right.
To let them know we're not going to let this go by.
Yes.
It's about time we do something about this. Guys, this is very near and dear to my heart because, I mean, it hurts me to even think of a child going through this. And like Cheryl says, that it messes with their mind, and that's our future. The children are our future. So we mess with their future is messing with our future. So that child will now have to go out into society and build this Bahamas.
Yeah.
And we want a healthy Bahamas, but we can't have that if we are destroying our children's mind and their bodies.
Yes.
We have to be serious about this, man. We need to lobby, rally. The silly season about to begin. Let's get before those who want the position, who want our vote, and let's let them know this is one of the topics we want to be addressed.
Absolutely.
We want this public sexual offenders registry. We want to know who these we want to know who these animals are. We want to know where they are at all times, because we will protect our children. We will stand up and protect our children. We will protect the least among us. That's what God calls us to do.
Absolutely.
So this has been Let's Talk. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same place.
Good night.